Hi there, this is Crystal, and today I have week 47 in my 2018 Project Life album. I think this might be the last week I do in my Project Life album. I do have a trip that came right after this that I'll put in the album as its own thing, but I'm pretty sure everything else past this week is just going to go into my December daily album. I may change my mind as I go on, but for right now, I think this will be the last actual week that I do this year. So I have my photos already printed. This was the week of Thanksgiving, so amazingly, not a whole lot of pictures from this week. That seems to be what happens when I'm busy living. I forget to take photographic evidence of that living. But I do have a good selection of pictures that I think represent the week well. And I still have my November kit from Citrus Twist Kits. I always stumble on that a little bit. So I think I'm going to use that, and we'll see if I need to pull in any other supplies. So I am going to put you on fast forward and get started. So as usual, I'm going to start by putting my photos down on the page where I think I'll want to keep them. I do write the dates of each photo on the back, so I was looking at that to make sure that they were somewhat in order for the week. I'm not a big stickler for making sure that they're in the exact order that they were taken. I'm more concerned with the balance of the spread. So I laid those down. I only have the 4 photos, so I needed also 4 cards to, no, there are 5, sorry, there are 5 photos on there, and then I needed 4 cards to fill in the other spaces. So I have the 1 card that will be that will hold the majority of my journaling for the week, and then 1 filler card, another one that will have some journaling on it, and then the title card. So now I'm just going through the die cut ephemera that came with this kit, and as usual, I'm just throwing things down on the spread where I think I might want to use them, and then I'll come back later and edit through them and decide exactly what I want to use. I'm doing the same with the cut apart sheet. So this is the free cut apart sheet that coordinates with this month's kit. And I'm just looking through what's left of it and basically looking for colors that work with the cards I've chosen. I'm mostly sticking with those kind of corally pink tones with some accents of blue and black and a little bit of green in there as well. So looking for things that work well with those colors, and also I know that I'll need a few labels for some of the cards, so making sure I pull out a couple of those. And these are the chipboard shapes that came with this kit, and I know that I want to use some of these circles. I haven't used any of them yet, and I really want to get some of them on this spread. So I've chosen a few that I think will work, and just kind of thrown them down as well. And the same with these puffy stickers. I don't end up using any right now, but I'll come back to that in a little bit. Just giving this stack of papers a quick flip through to make sure there was nothing there that I really wanted to get onto this spread. So now I'm just going to start going through what I've pulled out and deciding for sure where I want to put everything and what I actually want to keep on the spread. I do have to trim out these cut apart sheets. Sometimes I cut them up in advance and have them ready to go, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't end up having the time to do that, so I just have to cut them as I need them, which is fine. It doesn't take a terrible amount of time, and I have a silhouette, but I've never used it to cut these, so that would be something that would be easier if I could get in the habit of doing it, but again, it just takes time to sit down and do it, and when I have time to craft, I want to actually work in my albums, so that's what I end up doing. So I added a little word strip from the cut apart sheet that says "Eat, Drink, and Be Merry," and then this label where I'm going to put just a couple lines of journaling about this picture. It's a photo of my shopping cart at our local grocery store. I was buying all the things. We went a little overboard. We had some time off around Thanksgiving where both of us were going to be home. So we went a little overboard, like I said, and bought all the food. So it's a cart full of everything that we got that trip, and I'm just writing about how we stocked up on all of our favorite holiday foods to kick off the season. So for this filler card, I'm adding a little strip at the top that just says grateful for, and then the card says happy little moments. So it's grateful for happy little moments, and I used my gold stapler with gold staples to attach that. And now I'm going to add this other piece from the cut apart sheet to the top of this photo of Jesse and the dogs. And it just says Everyday Blessings. So we were out at our local nature park for a hike and snapped that photo. And it's one of my favorites of the year. So I added also a little chipboard circle to that photo as well. For a minute I played around with switching the location of those two photos, but I ended up keeping them where I had them to begin with. And now I'm just trying to get the cluster of embellishments right on this photo. So I have one of those little leaf shapes, and these are my favorite. I love these so much. I think I've used them all now, so I'm sad. But I did get this stamp that is the same shape, so I'll be able to stamp and cut some more for myself. And then there's a little circle die cut that says autumn, and another die cut where I'm just going to add the date from this photo. So I end up jumping around quite a bit as I work on this spread. I was not really sure how I wanted things to look, so I just kind of moved around and worked on a little bit here and a little bit there, and I end up going back and forth a bit more than I usually do, but it works out in the end. I like the way it turns out. So I added that little cut apart piece to the photo of our Thanksgiving table, and then this one, it had there was a die cut that said not so good, and I just cut off the not because I really just wanted the so good. So I added it to the card that says close to perfect. And then I cut apart this label from the cut apart sheet because I think I want to use it on my title card. And so right now my thought is that I would use that and probably some blue stickers, some blue puffy alphas to spell out the week. And I actually get that down, and I'm not happy with it. So you'll see me grab some alphas and my Thickers alignment tool and get it all spelled out and all laid down, and then it looks just too plain to me. So I go back to the drawing board on this one and end up trying something new. But I wanted to keep this in here so you could see that you know, not everything I think will work ends up working out, and sometimes you just have to roll with it, and when you don't like the way it looks, try again. So I decide that I want to use this kind of floral piece, this leafy pattern from the puffy sticker sheet that was in this kit on this card as part of my title. And that's when I realized that the letter stickers, the alphas, don't work. I don't like the two blues together, and the same with that that label. The two blues just don't work. So I'm going to set that aside and think about it some more and figure it out a bit later. I just put those stickers right back on the sheet, and I'll use them some other time. So I just stuck down that tiny little circle chipboard piece on the bottom photo. It just says cozy, and that's all that I'm going to do to that photo. I think that's enough, and I'm just adding a couple lines of journaling to this top one. Like I said, jumping around a lot this week. So I just wrote Thanksgiving dinner with good friends, so much to be thankful for. And then I'm going to staple that die cut on just like I did on the other filler card. So I'm going to write quite a bit of journaling on this card, and I don't make you watch that whole thing because it did take some time. And I end up handwriting it instead of typing it, mostly because I just didn't feel like getting my typewriter out. But I like the way it looks. It ended up working out just fine. And now I'm going to add a little stamp to that. There's that little area that's printed on the card at the bottom, and I just add the stamp that says Gathering Together. And now I'm going to look at the other stamps on the stamp that came with this kit and see if there's anything else I want to use. And I decide to add a stamp to this photo, which is a little bit hard since I put that chipboard piece on the photo already. But I end up being able to just put the stamp in the very corner of my stamping block, and I got it to work just fine. So I had tried to stamp off to do a second generation stamp, but it stays on ink and it doesn't really do that on photos. So I ended up just adding a second stamp so it says Family Time. I think that's going to be it for stamping. So back to the title card. I I looked through what I had and I decided to try one of my favorite alpha stickers. Actually, the ones that I choose are from Freckled Fawn. They were designed by Jen Scow, and I love the font. I love the mix of letters. So I'm going to end up spelling out the full title, so week 47. I'm just checking to see that I have all of the letters I need since I've used these before, and I know that I'll need 4 E's, which is a lot for any sticker sheet. So I was just making sure that I could make it work before I started sticking them down, and I think that I can. So I'm going to just spell out the title. And with these stickers, you don't have to worry about getting them perfectly aligned straight, since they're all kind of different shapes and different sizes. You can just kind of bounce them around on the card and it will look just fine. So I don't have to worry about using the alignment tool, and they're very, very thin. They're very small stickers, so that alignment tool doesn't really work with them anyway. They don't want to come off. So there you can see I had to stick down a C instead of an E. That's what I had left. So I'm going to make that work, just kind of Frankenstein my own E there in a second, which in the finished product, you can hardly even tell that I did that. So it worked out just fine. I really love the way that those alpha stickers look on a card like this. So that's going to be it. I'm just going to add the date stamp to the bottom of that card, the beginning and ending dates for the week. And then that's pretty much it for the spread. I think I add this final little leaf die cut just to finish it off, and that's going to be it. So there are some close-up photos coming up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my process and that you got some inspiration. As always, if you did enjoy it, I do appreciate those thumbs up. They let me know that I'm doing something that you like to see. And if you haven't already subscribed, you may consider doing that so you get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day, guys.